sharing so much because I've been moving through so much, and I can see it all over my face what I'm moving through. So I haven't been wanting to like show up on video because, yeah, my own, I guess, insecurity of seeing the energies of what I'm moving through on my face. Yeah, I like to be more clear when I show up in my videos, but the truth is, sometimes that just isn't the reality, depending on what we're moving through. I'm big on truth and authenticity, and sometimes, yeah, I'm not always going to be at my best, I'm not always going to say the right things, and we're human, things are moving through us like waves. We're always doing so much work collectively, internally, personally, day in, day out. So this is me right now. And my juice fast went so well. 35 days I cleared more things out of my body than I was expecting. Crazy, or things out of my body than I've ever, experienced. And yeah, I was feeling such waves of bliss and ecstasy through that, but also like energetically, there's just with what is happening in my personal life, so much is changing as I'm leaving my home city, town. I've been nomadic for 3 years and I've traveled, but I've always come back here to where I grew up in Canada. And I'm being called, it's been years I've been being called elsewhere. And, last year I thought it was the year that it was going to happen. I felt it so strongly all last summer, and it was like, I didn't do it. It wasn't time. And it's time now for me to leave, for me to go. And it's been months and months of, preparing, not intentionally so much, but it's just naturally been happening. The juice fast was part of it, because when we do a juice fast, we're purging the old self. It's a full death and rebirth on a cellular level. We're purging all these old backed up stuff from our body, the waste, but we're also purging emotionally and spiritually, and identities and patterns and ancestral stuff we're clearing beyond the physical, so far beyond the physical. And I really get to experience all the layers of that and how deep it really goes every time I do this, and every time I guide my clients through it as well. And anyways, so I'm not going to get into too much of what's happening in my personal life. I just share what I need to share for this, and trust that I share what I'm meant to. But basically, I kind of fell off out of my own center. I chose to not listen to my intuition and what my body was telling me. And I had this experience that had a lot of medicine in it that I probably could have avoided. But since I was a kid, I was like, I found out the hard way a lot of the times. It was like, but why? I need to know why. Why? But it's also taught me a lot. Every time my whole life, I've learned so much by trial and error, and sometimes not listening to my intuition. And part of that lesson is like learning to listen to my intuition, even when I don't understand it, or even when I want to go against it, to know better, to know that a hard lesson always comes when we don't listen to our intuition. So I'm learning still, as we all are, as we all will always be learning and growing. So I'm grateful for the lesson and the reminder, because it came at a high cost this time. And it's taken me a while to recenter and find the little tiny things that bring you back, or it's like you don't really want to do those things so much, but that's, usually a good indicator when you're not feeling like you want to meditate, and you're not feeling like you want to do the practices and the little things in your life that make you shine. It's a pretty good indicator they should even do them even more. And that message has been popping up a lot, so I've been reluctantly doing my meditations anyways, which have been great. Like, they've helped keep me from fully falling off the edge. And yeah, so I'm just experiencing my own energy again, and recentering and coming back to my truth, and remembering, like, I got so far off my center that I couldn't even see my own light anymore. I couldn't remember really who I was. I felt in a daze, in a fog. And when you're in those, it just felt like I was in a tunnel, and it's like I forgot everything while I was in there. And I'm still, I'm still re-emerging from it. I can still feel it. I can still feel myself remembering, re-emerging, coming back to my own center, my alignment, and feel the lightness, the bliss return to my inner state, the remembrance of who I am, of Divine Mother, love, my divinity, my sovereignty, of my power. I'm remembering, and I never want to forget again, and I know I probably will, but that is my intention and my prayer today. As I sang to the waters and I sang to Mother, that may I never forget again. May I never sacrifice or self-abandon my truth. May I always respect and honor myself, my truth, and what I know, my intuition, even if I don't always understand it, because that is Mother, that is Divine Mother through us, guiding us, teaching us, showing us the way. So I'm once again just humbled and feeling the softness return as my heart's breaking open again to let the light back in, to let more light in. And I'm just my reverence for the divine. Like, I forgot for a moment, and I'm remembering again, but it's like so much stronger this time. It's like every time I fall off path or fall off my center, my truth, and then I return to it, every time I return to it, it's stronger than ever before. My love is stronger than ever before. My connection to the divine is stronger than ever before. And less I falter or fall off, the connection gets stronger, the bond, the remembrance. And my prayer is that we all remember. We remember so deeply and so truly that we can never possibly forget again. It's crazy how quickly we can, it's like picking up something that wasn't meant for you. It's like, you're looking at all these pretty rocks, and you pick one up, and then you get sucked into this whirlwind. And like, you touch the water. That's, another example. It's just like a fast roaring river, when they're dangerous to even go near after a rain or while it's raining, and you can get really sucked into it. And it's like putting your foot, and you're just like, ooh, it looks so nice. You just put your foot in, and you just to test it, even though your body's like, your intuition's like, no, don't do it, it's dangerous, and then you just put your foot in, and you get sucked into this stream that was never meant for you. It was never meant for you to be in. And then, you're gone down the river, miles and miles and miles. And you've lost your way, and it takes time to walk up the riverbank and get back to where you were, to find your path again. especially, like, has been the closest I've ever felt living in Ontario, Quebec. The closest I can feel to home is in nature with the Divine Mother. It's when I feel God, Goddess, whatever you want to call her, whatever you want to call Source. That's where I feel home the most. It's where I feel love, which is who we are. It's where I feel like I belong. So much so that when I'm in the city, I cry and I ache and I get homesick. And the only homesick feeling I've ever really had was for the nature, for woods, for trees, for the water, and especially the trees and the water of this land of Canada. It's so deeply in my ancestry, the Indigenous and the natives. It's my ancestry on my mother line, and I feel my mother line the strongest. And I know my ancestors are guiding me. They live out through me. They speak through me. They sing through me. And I am them. So, as this new place calls BC, the island, it's been calling for so many years. And I wondered if it would never happen. I wondered if I was wrong, but I've had so many visions of it, of living there, of the ocean, of all of it, of the big trees. And it's like, I don't know, to me, I think all of Canada is beautiful, but to me, I think it's so special. I mean, it's special everywhere, it's hard to compare, but my heart feels like it belongs there. My feet feel like they're already running through the forests there. My hands touching the trees. I feel like I'm already there. I feel like I've already been there for a long time, and my body's just been waiting to catch up. So many times I'm walking in the forest here, and I'm just transported, and I'm not here anymore, and I'm there. Or I'm walking in a coffee shop or a cafe that I've never been in here, and I'm not here. I'm in BC. So I'm just so excited that it's time. And there's been so much inner work over the last couple of years, but especially these last couple of months. These last years, like this last full year has been really deeply, intensely preparing me to be the version of myself that gets to get in her car with everything she owns and drive across the country. And leave everything behind, including every version of me that I never really was. All the old identities, all the projections of everyone who's ever known me or thought that they knew me. To give myself permission to find out who I am outside of all of that. Outside of everyone who's ever known me, everyone who's ever looked at me. To find out who I am, what I'm made of, outside of what I've always known. This feels like the biggest initiation of my life. And I've had many. This feels like one of the biggest trust falls this is the biggest trust fall I've had yet. And I've had big trust falls, selling everything I own and quitting my job and moving and going to Italy with just what I could fit in my suitcase, and with like less than $2,000 to my name, and then finding my way back here, and then Costa Rica for months, and again with no money, and one didn't even know if I would ever come back or how I would get back, and then Paris, France, and Paris is France, as you know, but all of these experiences of deep trust and surrender, and jumping off the cliff it's doing, and life takes care of life. Nature knows how to grow in perfect timing, in perfect timing. You will know when it's time for you to go. Anyways, it's just another level of this cosmic game, this cosmic creation that this life is. A whole new level of trusting myself, trusting the divine. And I can't wait to share along the way what's unfolding for me, what this brings and invokes in me, and all the highs and lows of it. Yeah, I'm blessed. You're blessed. If you have a beating heart, you're blessed. If there's something in your life that you're not happy about, change it. You have the power. And all the support is always around you, always right in front of you. Sometimes we can't see it, but it's there. Pray. You are all of it. You are all of life. All of life is you. There's no separation. So when you pray, all of life responds. And not always in the way that we think. And sometimes it doesn't, we don't even know it's responding, but it is. Always. Always. Ask and it is given. And just keep following your heart, your truth, your inner knowing. Continues to come up for me over and over again is keep loving yourself and everything else will work out. That's all you have to keep doing is choose yourself over and over